Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a very, very important round of racing. It is the America's Tier 2 division of the MRL. My name is Stryfium. Joining me is Gazieg, and we are here in Belgium around Spa. Gazieg, how you doing?
Yes, Drift was one of the most iconic circuits in all of F1. It's one of the most recognizable corners.
19
Long
turns.
straight.
Very intense circuit. Very intense circuit, of course. We're here for the 13th round out of 18. We're nearing the end. We're on the right-hand third of our calendar, if you will. Right at the top there, Belgium. Next week we go through the Netherlands. Following that, China, Japan, Abu Dhabi, and Brazil. What a season it's been, and what a season we are going to, of course, still have yet in front of us with the final 5 rounds. We take a look at Major Castleman in charge of the division, large and in charge in this division. 187 points for the Mercedes racer. Cheery, second position for him in the Alfa Romeo, 106 points. And then it's Rao tailing him, just 6 points differential. The Red Bull looking to get himself into that second slot. There's still enough racing to go, however, where if Major Castleman find himself with some errors, could be a threat from either of those two gentlemen. Bean in fourth, Cattle King in fifth. Of course, it's Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull through the 1, 2, 3 slots in the constructors. With that, we are just about ready to go racing here in Spa. And by ready to go racing, I do, of course, mean jumping into 18 minutes of qualifying action. This is Belgium. This is a very, very intense circuit. Qualifying can mean a lot here. Man, I hope they don't have a poor roll of the dice on the weather either, because rain can really play a massive impact here.
Yeah, we saw rain play a major impact on the race earlier today in Tier 2, Striff. In qualifying, it was one of those qualifying sessions where it just started raining right at the start, and whoever got out first got pulled pretty much.
That must have been an absolute mess. Reference to grid, everybody out of their usual positions. Well, get some overcast here as far as
Yeah, it
the
might
eye
be
can tell.
happening again.
Never know. 16 racers thus far. Not sure if we have any more reserves joining us this evening. However, it is a stacked lineup. We have LAS1 on the grid. Hanners, Alvarez, Major Castleman, of course, leading the championship. Victor Diaz and his teammate, Mr. Rao. We have Mr. Bean there in the Aston Martin, as well as NYK on the grid. Wordad, Cattle King, Lewis Lamilton, Duncan McCamick. We have Paula Brady, of course, in the Alpine. Lothlorient, Jay Forsai, as well as Beamer and G taking to the grid today. First racer out on a outlap is going to be the Mercedes of Lewis Lamilton coming up through Eau Rouge and Radion. That is the, well, one of the, if not the most difficult sections of circuit here around Spa. Coming up through Lecomte. A little bit of a rev desync there. Maybe it will correct when he begins his lap. As you mentioned earlier, iconic this circuit, Ghazi.
Yeah, it's one that I think F1 will be racing at forever. He was almost getting out of the way for the Alpine driver. He has improved a lot, Hughes, over the season. Not just in pace, but in racecraft, and not just in racecraft, pace as well. Oh,
LAS1, as you mentioned, overtaking him on the medium compound tires in that Alpine, looking to be the first driver to get a lap recorded here. The long lap here around Spa. The average of a minute 40 plus. And with that, of course, there's a ton of traffic on circuit right now. Quite a few drivers just leaving the pits. And LS1 coming down through La Sauce in the first turn, down to through third gear. Now flowing up the gears as he pushes through to the hill.
Looks so cloudy on your screen, Striff.
Sun peeking.
A purple sector, what a surprise.
This will be the first lap of the session. Medium compound tires are the choice for LAS1.
This is a hot action zone of the circuit. Lots of overtaking through these corners.
One thing I noticed here, he's got his fuel light on already.
Yeah, I saw the fuel light on a bit earlier. I'm not sure what it means. It means he could be close to running out or has run out. Maybe when it's solid, it means he ran out.
No, I think it's close to running out here, and I have a feeling he's going to drop this lap coming through the final sector, essentially around the chicane. Next behind him will be Hewitt Slamilton, and we'll jump back to him in a few moments as we see what's going on with the Alpine here.
We're gonna have to do a restart. Someone randomly joined the race, Swift. I don't know if you noticed.
Jim. LAS 143.822. So we are going to be having a lobby restart?
Well, yeah, because he joined. I guess he's
Okay,
gonna have
let's
to be
get it
removed
going.
from gonna have to be removed from some friends list, Swift.
Very odd.
But anyway, let's keep going with the action. Elias won first to set a lap, going in the grass there to let somebody by. Doing a little bit of lawn mowing, and Henders beats him by 8/10.
J for Psi 45, 450 in the Ferrari, fourth lap across the line. It's Henners, Rao, LAS1, and J currently on the timing tower. Alvarez invalidated. Wordad coming through in the pit lane. The Alfa Romeo is not having a good time right now. Next up might be Cattle King. No, excuse me, it's NYK coming through the chicane. He will go second quickest here. 43.062 from the Haas. Victor Diaz to the line will go third quickest. He is on the medium compound tire. Six times on the board. And the top two on the softs.
Both Red Bull cars have this very similar pace. They must be tuned similarly. Looks like a Mercedes is getting out of the way for some cars here. Through the bus stop chicane.
A variety of different cars currently on laps.
Qualifying is a major factor at this track. You definitely want to start from the front, or as close to the front as you can get. I'm bored now with the AlphaTauri of the random person who joined the lobby who's on track now.
Buffalorian flying. Aston Martin coming to the split in sector 2.
And there's right now on pole position. Hopefully, he can hold it. NYK nearly beat his lap. Just 1,000th off, 2,000th off it.
P5 running on the soft compound tire. As
Major
behind him,
Custom.
here's Hamilton, 43.489. Mr. Bean in the partnering Aston Martin with a purple sector 1. Flying up through sector 2 now, coming down the hill. He has some traffic as he works his way down the hill. And it is our dear friend in the AlphaTauri.
Major Custom goes fourth fastest, just behind his teammate.
Gaining laps on the medium compound tires as well. You can see there 3 laps set on that tire.
Well, I think he realized that this is going to be restarted after quali. It doesn't matter what tires you qualify on them, because everyone's getting fresh tires. Or maybe he didn't know that. He's just doing it anyway.
It's unfortunate when that happens, but Mr. Bean now to the line. He will go third, 43.077 on the softs. Top 4 times on the board on softs. Henner's still holding that provisional pole 2 thousandths of a second ahead of NYK in the Haas. Wordad, Alvarez, both Alfa Romeos on the move on different tires. Wordad using the mediums.
Yeah, a lot of drivers are choosing to use different tire selections. Where that has a lot of fans in the chat. One of the most popular drivers. Coming to the line now. Good enough for P10 with a 144.
His teammate behind him into the pit lane, not successful on his run. Cattle King is on the move coming down the hill. He's one of the 5 racers yet to set a time in this one.
Yeah, Cattle King in the Haas. Sitting on, I think he has 87 points on the season. A great season from the Haas driver. He's very quick, a purple sector.
Enters.
And Henders, yeah, he goes faster.
42.777 coming out of the Williams. He extends his provisional pole by a solid margin, nearly 4/10.
Here comes Cattle King to the final 2 corners. See what time he can do. Oh, almost.
It's just the second driver, sub 143 here. Victor Diaz beginning a run. He is on the softs. Many drivers are. All looking for those improvements now as the first runs were set on the mediums. Purple through 1. We'll see how he navigates through sector 2.
Paula is on the lap now. Yeah, still yet to set a time. Maybe invalidated her first run.
3 drivers yet to set times. Alvarez, Paula Brady, and Beamer.
Been a while since we've seen Alvarez on the grid. Finally back after a few weeks off. Paula coming up to the sector 2 line now.
Victor, purple through 2. The Red Bull coming through sector 3 now to finish things up. Can he improve on the 43.696? A slight improvement would jump him 2 positions here. See how many positions he is able to make now navigating through the final chicane. It's good for provisional pole. Victor Diaz, a 42.454. Henner's not going to be happy about that Red Bull. We'll jump to Paula Brady now, coming through the chicane in the Alpine to the line. It's good for 7th, the 43.298 from Paula Brady. A very large margin separating her and her teammate now at the moment. LAS1 was the first driver to come through with a time in this session.
Yeah, Paula's teammate. He's reached the chicane at the top of the hill now. Coming to the most technical part of the circuit. Jay Fasao is not going to improve his lap. He's retired.
3 minutes and change left in the session. LAS1 coming down the hill through Pouon. There's a car pulled off left-hand side there. That is a Red Bull. I do believe that is actually Victor Diaz, the provisional pole sitter right now, who has had an issue coming down the hill, pulled off, allowing cars to come through.
It's a good thing he'll get new tires, because those tires are going to be ruined now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They'll be covered in grass and dirt.
Not too many racers on active flyers right now. I do believe Hewis Lamilton has just begun a run. Alvarez could very well be finishing up a run, but he does have that low fuel light on. No time set for him. He'll be wanting to get things done right now, because he will not have time to come in and go out and get a lap started. That I can assure you. This will be his only shot remaining here in this session to get a valid run to the line, and he will do so coming through the chicane now. Alvarez, what can he do? The Alfa Romeo. It's good for 9th, the 43.537. He'll be happy with that on a one shot, no doubt. Here's Lamilton on the move, jumping into sector 3. Oh, and he runs it wide and gets a little bit too much curb there and blows the lap. We'll have to see if he has enough fuel to reset and go again, but in some situations it's not likely. Mr. V in purple through sector 2. I do believe Hewis Lamilton has begun again. Mr. Bean now through the chicane. LAS1 into 5th position, 43.061. Mr. Bean into 3rd, 42.790 on the rear of Henners. Henners is on the move. We're going to jump to NYK now. He will be next across the line in the Haas. 43.062 is what he is looking to improve on. Will he improve? He will not. Close shave by 9 milliseconds.
Will Beamer be able to set a time? Does not want to start last. Oh, he's invalidated. And it's over. He will be starting last.
Word at pushing. His teammate Alvarez, low fuel, coming through sector 3. The Alfa Romeo holding on to 14th with a 44.157. What can he find for improvement now? Into the final chicane. Touching through the inside curbs. And he will find the exit. And what will it be to the line? It's good for 4th. Word ad 42.817. Neatly done. Of course, his teammate Alvarez will be on the way in. Beamer will actually come to cross the line, but it will not be in time to get another run started. As you mentioned, for him, it is over.
Henner's on a lap though. Maybe he can. Oh, but he's coming back to the small improvement. It looks like a bunch of cars off track there.
Major Castleman, the championship leader, 43.661. What can he do to improve? The Mercedes now through the bus stop chicane. Major to the line. It's good for 10th. Henners doing some work for Williams coming through Blanchemont. He lifts. He completely dropped throttle.
It's gonna be a P10 start for Castleman, it looks like, which it means gonna have to start on those soft tires.
Not clear on Henners there. What happened to him?
He abandoned his lap or something.
He
I don't
was
know.
flying into that chicane and he just kind of dropped the throttle.
Well, earlier in the lap, he was completely off track and gained time. It was something weird happened.
I understand.
I don't know.
Maybe he was just aborting to avoid any later issues.
Maybe the time improvement was from cutting the track to let people by and stuff.
That is going to wrap up qualifying here for round 13 of the MRL America's Tier 2 Season 6 action. Victor Diaz, ladies and gentlemen, the Red Bull Racer, 142.454, pole position for the American. And it is the Englishman of Henners in the Williams, 42.777 behind him, just 0.3. Right on the rear of Henners, we have the Aston Martin of Mr. Bean. Word ad, Rao, Cattle King, LAS1, NYK, Paula Brady, and Major Castleman make up the top 10. P.S. Lamilton, Alvarez, Jay Forsai, Waffalorian, Duncan, Jim, who is going to be removed, make up the rest, with Beamer there failing to get a lap in.
Yeah, we'll have to have a small delay to get the new lobby going. And I know that there was rain, and we had the dynamic weather before Striff. There was rain going to be at 30 minutes. So I wonder what it's going to be like with the predetermined weather, where you have to select from 3 different slots what the weather will be like. It's pretty much, it's not as like complex, or like it's not as like, there are more variables when it comes to dynamic. With preset weather, it's pretty much preset and predetermined.
Well, that's why they call it preset there, Guzzy.
Yep. Well, and they've been calling me Striff the Will Buxton for pointing out the obvious during my broadcast.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. That is quite funny. Sorry for the delay. We're going to get everything underway momentarily as we had a racer join who was not registered station.
Yeah, that could definitely cause problems. We don't know what they're going to be driving like. There's a championship on the line for some of these drivers. He really wants to race Drift. I think Jim has joined back. He was kicked now. Well, if anyone wants to race, you don't just join the lobby randomly. You can join the Discord. We can definitely get you into the races.
Absolutely, there is a process, and there is a process for great reason. Just sorting out the grid, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your patience whilst we sort this out. I blame Ghazi.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Ghazi's too busy listening to the radio over there.
I was getting something to enjoy the race. Because it's going to be a very exciting race. I'm going to sit back and watch it with you and everyone else in the chat. We appreciate everyone who joined and is being patient through the delay while we get the lobby sorted.
I'd like to give a big shout out to all of our subscribers. We had Tyler Holtzman come through this evening with a 9-month resub. Tyler, thank you very much for the support. You're a legend in the MRL. You have your own dedicated video for your amazing Hungarian Grand Prix.
You know what? You know what always worries me about restart Striff? Like when you have put your setup when you gone out the previous session. When we restart, it doesn't save that, so everyone has to put their setup back on, and
Well,
some people
that's
forget to do that.
some people need to just be patient in getting things set for their race and recognizing that we've had this delay. You know, I've actually done that myself, and it is a serious, for lack of a better word, piss off when that happens, without a doubt. Righty. Time to return to racing here, and it's just about time for action. We have formation lap, then we have lights out, then drama.
and then rain, and then more drama. I think
Well, the entire
should be
race
pre.
is a drama. It's an episode where there's going to be tension. There's going to be moments where I am surely scared because if rain's coming, that means there's going to be Eau Rouge navigation in the rain, and that will be tricky in itself, especially if anyone tempts fate up the inside.
With the change, we might even see more rain. Oh, Henner's being kicked from the session. Hopefully, he can get back in before the. It's a good thing we're at the longest circuit of the calendar, so he has a long time before this formation lap ends.
Yeah, he does have a good chunk of time. However, I don't believe he will have an
He can't put
opportunity
his.
to regain control before
He
the
won't be
race
able to put
actually
his
begins.
setup on. That's very sad. And everyone in the chat already knows how important having a good setup is, especially around Belgium.
Well, Henners is a very capable and tricky driver.
But it's not a great start. It's a huge mental block. It's like a huge mental hurdle when you aren't able to put a setup on, I think.
Gosling usually spends the entire 18 minutes of a qualifying session ensuring that he has his right setup. He doesn't drive the car in qualifying.
Yeah. It's actually true. I check in, I make sure each part of the car is perfectly dialed in.
We have another lever, unfortunately, in Mr. Bean. He is also disconnected. So we have our P2 and 3 drivers presently disconnected from session, as you can see on board with WordAd. 2 red X's above Henners and Bean. Not what you want to
Great
see
for
starting this race, Spa.
it's great for Victor.
Well, it's great for Victor, but it's not great for anybody behind the 2-3 racers, considering the nature of this circuit. One thing to note here is that Henners, the AI set him up very well for this race on medium compound tires, which in itself is illegal. So, of course, the AI can't possibly know that this is a restart from the qualifying session. So you see,
We might have to restart again because
that's a
they
very
actually put the invite only.
Victor Diaz, Henners, Mr. Bean, the top 3, Wordad, Rao, your top 5. Cattle King, LAS1, NYK, Paula, and Castleman making up through 10. And we have Hughes Lamilton, Alvarez, Jay Forsai, Waffalorian, and Duncan with Beamer through 16. And we've had another disconnect. That was actually Victor, as I was
Yeah,
on board with him.
I think this is going to be restarted, Striff. It's on invite only.
Well, this is just going lovely.
We'll be back to the delay screen, I think. I apologize again to everyone in the chat and to you, Striff, because I know you have to go to sleep soon. I know that bed is calling for you.
It is. It's screaming. You know what I love about delays, Gazi?
What do you love about delay, Striff?
Absolutely nothing. That's what I
It
love.
gives us time to talk and chill and get more excited for the race that we're going to see eventually.
Speaking of races, excited. I am extremely excited for this weekend's Miami race. I think
The inaugural
that is going
Miami
to
Grand.
be quite interesting. I'm really excited about the amazing marina.
I want to see some predictions in the chat of who's going to win the race on this weekend, on Sunday. I know who you're predicting, Strip. Obviously, the Ferrari
Obviously,
driver.
absolutely.
gonna be Ferrari 1-2?
Well, I don't know. Sainz has had some unfortunate luck the past two races, so
Some people going bold in the chat. Tyler says K-Mag is gonna win.
to answer Ruby, Henner is supposed to be on softs. He was not connected. That was an AI in control of his vehicle that put him on the mediums because we had to do a lobby restart. Waffleorian hosted this one. Really keen on racing in Bahrain, Ghazi.
Jeff, I've been talking into a muted mic. I'm sorry. I was saying we shouldn't do qualifying on Belgium and then race Bahrain. That'd be a bit weird.
For Waffle, wouldn't mind.
I think he's just getting the
I'm
grid
kidding.
sorted.
He would mind because for those that don't know, this is Belgian Waffle, aka Waffleorians
Oh yeah, I just
home
got
race.
that. Hopefully, this is definitely gonna be the last restart.
Don't
We're
jinx
running
it.
late
You're
now.
gonna jinx it.
Well, we can't. It's too late to restart again, I think.
Absolutely.
So it's either this goes or that's it. We will reschedule. Should have no problems this time. Waffle's gonna put the correct lobby settings. Cody is reminding Waffle in the VC to put all the correct settings and to leave it on friends only, so people can join back if they DC, and people commonly DC in this game. And once again, hopefully people remember their setups. All the drivers are readying up. The timer is down to 14 seconds. And we are about to get to racing, everyone. Appreciate the patience through the delay. Everyone has had time to get a drink, to get settled. More they've had. It's time to go racing now.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to witness lights out in this race. You have no idea how
I've been
excited.
anticipating it for the past 20
I've been
minutes.
waiting. Jim's fault.
Well, we got rid of him. We won't be seeing him again, I think.
Formation lap. Load your setups. Don't forget to load your setups, man. That is the worst. We mentioned it earlier. We're going to mention it again.
Because of how painful it is.
Now, Hanners had better have the softs on.
The soft shoes on his car.
That would be bad, but catch them. Oh,
They're all behaving, Striff.
we're good. Had it happen. Had it happen.
And you know what happens when that happens, Striff? They have to box lap 1 to change their tires, which costs a lot of time.
I remember Zamis had that by accident.
You definitely do not want to be boxing lap 1 for that mistake.
No. Once again, if you're just joining us, it is Victor Diaz, the Red Bull in pole. Henners, the Williams, will be starting up on the front row next to him. Mr. Bean in third. Wordad in fourth. Rao in fifth. And partner in Red Bull, we have Cattle King, LAS1, as well as NYK, Paula Brady, and Major Castleman, all on the soft compound tires, making up the 10 racers here to kick things off. With Hewis Lamilton 11th, Alvarez 12th, Jay Forsai in 13th in the Ferrari, while Falorian 14th. It's his home race, so wish him well on the Aston Martin. Duncan will be with us in the AlphaTauri, and Beamer will make up the 16 racers on this evening's grid for round 13 of the Americas Tier 2 division of the MRL Season 6 racing action.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of the order, because honestly, I forgot from how long qualifying was. How long ago qualifying was. I was surprised to see Word at P4. But he always is a strong qualifier. And Victor and Henner is just arriving at the grid now.
All right, Victor and Henners, as you mentioned, getting to the grid, Mr. Bean with them, and everyone taking their position on the starting grid. Beamer in the Ferrari will be last to do so, 16th position. And it is time, everybody. It is time to go racing here in Spa.
Finally. Here we go, Striff.
3, 4, 5 red lights here in Belgium. It's round 13, and we are away racing here with the lights out. Who's got the best start? Henners has a good run around the outside. Victor into turn 1, holding things tight on the inside with Mr. Bean right on his rear. LAS1 and Cattle King are wheel to wheel as we come out of turn 1. It's a drag race up to the hill. LAS1 leading ahead of Cattle King, and he will make it through ahead of the Haas Racer to collect a position.
Henner is going for the lead of this race. He's swooping around the outs. He's going side by side with the Red Bull. It's a drag race down the straight. Looks like the Williams is going to stay ahead.
Mr. Bean looking for a position as well. Mr. Bean around the outside. The Aston Martin will get through, and there's been contact. Cattle King has gone into the... Oh, my God, Mr. Bean. What has happened to Mr. Bean? I have just watched the Aston Martin drive through a barrier here. Oh, my.
It's going to be a VSC Striff to remove that Aston Martin.
Henners, Rao, LAS1 now, your top
and
three.
Victor has fallen down to P14. He got knocked out of the way by someone.
Well, Victor was tapped in the rear by one of the Haas racers. I want to say it was Cattle King. I'm looking for damage on either of the Haas cars, and I can't find it. I saw debris come off of someone's car.
Well, we'll see if anyone boxes at the end of this lap. It's under VSC conditions right now. You can definitely box to change to fix the damage.
Tell you who got major debris. Mr. Bean.
Yeah. And they only needed a VSC to remove that car from inside of the barrier strip.
Cars are a lot easier to remove when they're in pieces, I guess. I don't know. Not true.
So far, no take. Actually, one of the Mercedes diving in. Major Castleman. He might be going mediums to get rid of the soft tires.
VSC
Word out.
offline. Henners back to it. Rao within half a second. Off Lauren, Dre for Sai right now. They had a quick exchange. Victor Diaz doing some work on the soft compound
Wow.
tires.
What's the lead of this race, Drift?
Having to Paula Brady. An issue coming up through a Rouge potentially for the Alpine. I did not catch it, but she did fall through the order. Rao, nothing doing just yet with Henners. As we have Hewis Lamilton barking up Beamer's rearview mirror.
He just got overtaken by Beamer, actually. Ferrari going ahead of the Mercedes. You love to see it.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Duncan, however, he's looking at the Merc as well.
Nothing against Hewis. It's just about the teams.
Victor Diaz doing some work on these softs right now. This is his best opportunity to get ahead of the medium runners, and things aren't too spread out for him right now. Jay Forsai next up on his list.
Duncan looking at Hewis really closely. And with the yellow flag, somewhat Alvarez is out of this race. And a big crash. Hewis, trying to avoid the Alfa Romeo, got all smashed into the wall. It looks like Duncan avoided damage, though. And Hewis Lamilton has no front wing. Somehow, the Mercedes car is still continuing to drive after it did a 360 to the wall.
They must have the Gazier durability package on that car.
No, what happened was the Merc was trying to avoid Alvarez, who had crashed, and he ended up spinning himself into the wall. Or he might have made contact with Alvarez's dead car.
Sure, a few of these drivers up at the front end of things wondering why the full safety car hasn't been deployed. They're wondering what the heck is going on back there.
Chaos is going on back here.
DRS enabled. Back to green flag racing. The VSC offline. Rao within half a second once again with LAS1 in close proximity. Cattle King just outside of that DRS range right now with his teammate NYK tight to the rear. That makes up the top 5 soft runners. Then you jump into medium runners with Beamer, Duncan, and Jay for size. We see Rao running off that other turf. That other
Yeah,
curb.
a lot of drivers have been using that turf. I guess it's where the racing line is in the grass. It looks weird, but I've seen it a lot in Tier 2 today as well. Castleman's been doing that as well. I guess you just don't lose that much grip in that grass, apparently. But it's very tight at the front. The top 3, all within half a tenth of each other. And you know, LAS1
to Paula Brady.
LAS1, he's not the most patient driver. So we'll see how early he's going to try to send it on route. Victor Diaz has a lot of work to do.
It's going to be hard for him to send it on Rao. Hanners is that bigger threat here, I think, without the utilization of DRS coming up through the Kemmel Straight.
Hopefully for Henners, the two, Rao and LAS1, end up fighting with each other. We'll see DRS soon. The wing about to come open.
Look at the speed and the ability. The DRS giving this Red Bull. Rao launching ahead of Henners. Henners goes deep. There's a big snap.
Yeah, they totally knocked each other. And then Henners ends up the worst out of it, going for a massive spin facing the other direction. Rao was able to get away with it and stay into second place.
NYK with the biggest chicane cut I've seen in my life. And
Oh,
I think he got away with it.
because of the yellow flags?
Oh, yeah.
What a lucky.
He
Well,
blew the red
hopefully we can
light.
clip that later. LAS1 now in the lead of this race with Rao behind him. Henner's falling down to P9.
Henner's a driver that when the dominoes start to fall like that, they really fall.
Well, you knew that was coming, Striff. They were no way Henner's giving up that position easily. And there was nowhere for the two cars to fit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place, and I don't know if that was the best opportunity for defense there. That
Two
DRS,
cars,
very
yeah.
powerful.
Henner's about to be overtaken by Paula. Henner's might have damage. We don't know if lag may have contributed to the crash as well. Oh, big spin from Paula. Henner's going back past. Duncan behind Beamer. Coming up Eau Rouge now.
Yeah, this is a locked and loaded overtaking opportunity here. We'll just have to see if he is able to pull it off. Beamer now.
Cattle King overtaking his teammate around the outside.
Here we go, wheel to wheel coming through. Duncan ahead of Beamer.
And Paula and Henner's re-exchange positions once again. Victor is coming to join this battle soon. Victor behind Beamer now. But we'll look at the front battle at the front. Rao versus LAS1. There's tiny bit of energy used for Rao. LAS1 all over the place ahead, trying to break the slipstream.
Rao really in the driver's seat of this battle right now, I think. And look at the speed
Oh,
coming out
look
of
at
the
the
Red Bull.
10.
Not sure what happened there with the Alpine. He really broke early. Then he got off the brake, extended out a bit. Rao still not able to slip through on the inside there. LAS1 under major pressure to defend lead of this race. He goes deep through turn one, opens the door. Rao takes advantage, lead of this race now. Advantage,
Rao might get
Red Bull.
DRS as well, if he's lucky.
No, I don't think so. I think LAS1 here, he will have the DRS, but is it enough? He's gaining. Rao breaks off to the inside. He's going to go ahead now. The Alpine back in lead of this race. Was it a plan all along through turn one?
You could definitely tell the respect between these two drivers. They are having fun out there with each other, leaving each other lots of space and respecting.
Duncan.
Meanwhile, behind Beamer battling with
Victor. There. Around the outside for Victor. Soft tires for him, giving him a little bit of a good advantage on grip right now through some of these turns.
Victor going ahead of the
Beamer.
Ferrari. Oh no! He just cuts the track just a tiny bit, and the game awards on the 3 second.
Those 3 second time penalties really tough. Really tough. You can't serve them.
Victor gets another position. He has Duncan next on his hit list. I'm not sure there's much Duncan can do about this move. But
you got the soft compound tires right now.
Yeah, the soft tires could die before the rain comes. It depends. Will the mediums outlast the softs? Or will the rain come in time for the soft runners?
Yeah, Duncan is in a good position here as far as tires and position concerned, considering what you just mentioned. The rain is coming. Or it's supposed to be, anyway.
We don't know when, though. If Waffle did the lobby settings correctly.
Yeah, I'm sure he forgot, you know, air quotations. Duncan, Victor, here goes the move. Victor opening the door here. Duncan trying to squeeze off Beamer. Beamer says no way, Jose, but it costs him. Duncan holds fifth. Excuse me, sixth on the rear of Victor as Victor got the move through.
Yeah, unlucky for the Ferrari driver, but he's gonna try to come back in for Duncan now. Now he doesn't have Victor to worry about anymore. And Victor says, "See you later" to Duncan and Beamer.
Jay Forsai wanting to get in
Oh,
on this, and
He's
Wordad
out
has
of this race.
retired in the pit lane.
Yeah, thought he was the second Alfa Romeo to be out of this race. Unfortunate for the Alfa Romeo team. Oh no, Victor spun, and then Duncan hit him, and he has serious wing damage now. Beamer going by, Beamer laughing under the helmet now, I'm sure. And it's good. The Ferraris are now P5 and P6. Behind the Haas cars, who are P3 and P4. It's a great race for Ferrari powered cars right now. Yeah, Victor had a spin, and then Duncan went right into the Red Bull. Oh, look at the cloud strip. It's getting darker. The rain is imminent.
Yeah, this might have played into the favor of some people. It's just so unfortunate for Duncan, who was in a really prime position on those mediums.
Duncan has had the
Wow,
most horrible luck.
Phone. He's going around the outside. LAS1 making him work, kicking up the grass.
What a move from the Red Bull driver.
Really, really scary stuff.
When he goes completely off track there. LAS1's going to try to go back at him. Just not enough, though. And Duncan, he's had a very poor streak of luck in the MRL. Getting into incidents almost every race, unfortunately. And most of them are not out of his control. Like the one where he hit Victor today.
Rao in lead of this race under threat still from LAS1. Eyes on the skies, ladies and gentlemen, as the rain is imminent.
Yeah, it's getting dark. The cloud just shot up. Actually, we just checked the radar strip. There's a huge cloud coming. I have the radar next to me. You think I'm joking? No one looking at the pits yet. The soft tire's trying to stretch to the rain. When will we see the first drops? Will it be this lap or will it be next lap? I think it can still get a little bit darker. Wait, let me check the radar again so I can see where the cloud is.
Oh my god.
It's gonna pass over the circuit and then it's gonna go a bit east.
Yeah, you sure? Here goes
Yes.
LAS1 now, hunting for first. Rao on the inside. LAS1, Rao on the outside. He gets it done. Was
Oh no,
there...
it goes completely wide.
Well, that...
Oh,
Oh,
just spin it to the
that
wall.
is huge. That is massive, and I am shocked he is still in this race and able
Yeah,
to
me
operate
too.
that car.
Indestructible Alpine apparently, except for the front wing. But when he got all over the curb, we kind of saw that coming. There's no traction in there. There's no grip on there.
That is
And he
not
spins into the
what you
wall.
want to see.
And now the Haas cars are both in the podium positions. Yes, it is a very long way to go to the pits with
That
no
was
front
a
wing.
massive shunt.
Lamp, how's it going? Been a long time.
Good to see you.
We're here
Good
for
to see
a
him
very
in the
exciting
chat.
race. Yeah, we are here at a very exciting race, Emerald, Belgium, for America's Tier 2 action. And the rain is about to come join the party.
NYK with the 3-second time penalty on the rear of Cattle King right now. I wonder which of the two Haas races, I was going to say. I wonder if which one will pit first.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when you're really close to your team. The same with Ferrari. It's kind of had that problem. It might, you know, who's going to capitalize on it? Henners. He could get both of them. Depending on when the pit stops are. LAS1 big boxing to fix his front wing.
Rain's coming.
He's gonna have to go dry
The
tires though,
rain is
because it's
here.
not here. Oh, it's here now.
Duncan 144.927, and what a big fall for him through this grid. And he's had to switch up the car, get some repairs done, get the tires switched up. Now he's got to go and switch up the tires again. The rain's coming down. The driver's gonna be swearing. You know that it is not an ideal situation in that AlphaTauri garage at all.
Sorry for Duncan. And LAS1 car somehow survived the wall, but now he's in last place.
One thing I've been blown away by is the lack of full safety car in this campaign. However, it's still early. Henner is still on the grid.
Yeah, and there have been multiple car accidents. There's a lot of Victor fans in the chat. He's now at P8, just behind Paula.
Lewis, Lamilton, under threat. LAS1 in very close proximity. Raindrops coming through into his onboard
The front
camera
tops, massive advantage. I don't think there's much US can do about it. But will there be contact between them? It's gonna be sketchy coming through this like left-hander in the wet. Side by side, it's gonna be sketchy.
Oh, coming around the outside now. Very tight between the pair.
We should back out on
He
this.
gets it done. Very daring move there. Now
And we
here
see some
comes the
injuries.
flood of pits.
Yeah.
So the Ferrari's double stacked. Beamer gets out ahead of Henner's, but none of the top four come in. DRS disabled, and they might have just nailed it.
This is gonna be horrible for Haas. They're gonna have to do a full circuit, all 7 kilometers, with DRS disabled wet track on soft tires, and then they're gonna have to double stack. It's time for Beamer to do a massive undercut. Major Castleman also caught out. He might box. Let's see the lap from Beamer. Let's see him pushing. He's behind Major Castleman right now, but he easily overtakes. This is gonna be horrible for the track. Is completely wet now.
It is soaked.
Cattle King and NYK are gonna struggle. Look at the gap
Henner's
dropping from
is
Beamer to NYK.
decimating. Absolutely decimating the gap between himself and Major Castleman. And Beamer NG 19 seconds approaching, excuse me, already about 17 seconds. Look at
Yeah,
Henner's,
it
says
does go
bye-bye.
It's like a seconds counter, not a. NYK is gonna surely have to follow in, and how many positions are they gonna lose? Beamer might cycle into the lead of this race. It's gonna be a race for at the pit exit.
It's
It's
gonna
gonna be a
tight.
race to turn 1. Beamer coming up to turn 1 now. Rao coming out of the pit lane. And
Rao's
Rao
gonna
just
hold on.
ahead. But Beamer gets Cattle King.
Henner's. Here comes Henner's. Cattle King under major threat. He's got no temperature into the intermediate tires right now. Henner's going to play it safe on the rear of the Haas as we come up through Eau Rouge now, through Radion. Look into the inside back now for Henner's. It's going to be the outside as we come through into Lacombe. Henner's pushing with the battery. He wants third position. He's going to take it, and he's going to get it and hold it as we come through the chicane.
How much Cattle King could have done with that? He had no chance to get tire temps with only a straight when you come out of the pits, while Henderson has done a full lap on the inters pushing. But will Cattle King be able to come back at the Williams driver? While Florian taking a penalty. Elliot Paula has cycled back into P7 now. Still ahead of Victor. We have a bit of gaps forming.
This is where the rain comes into play. Of course, now the drivers, it comes down to their prowess in the wet conditions, as well as the setup, as well as everything else they had to contend with in the dry conditions. It just adds that extra layer of skill required.
You definitely don't want to lose a bunch of time by staying out on the softs when the track is wet. They stayed out one lap too long. We have yellow flags in the back. I think that's Waffleorian
celebrating with some donuts around his home circuit. However, nothing to celebrate. 12th position, nothing to be too thrilled about.
We'll see how this race is going to end. Looking good for Henners and Beamer and Rao, of course. Will any of these drivers be able to close these gaps?
Well, Victor Diaz is on the hunt right now, and Paula looking like she's under a little bit of a threat here from the Red Bull. And again, we're not quite at that overtaking margin. We're actually, Paula, extending it out a bit, which is exactly what the Alpines are going to want to see.
Trying to watch the gap at the front and see if Beamer is catching up to Rao at all for the lead of the race.
NYK kind of breaking into that 1 second range on Jay Forsai.
Yeah, it's looking good for a Ferrari right now. P2 and P5 as it currently stands. Paula taking another penalty. Not liking the conditions. So Victor, he's in at least, I think he's in a net P6 right now. We'll beat NYK and Paula on penalties. But still a lot of race to go.
Dancing in and around that 1 second for NYK. Same with Paula and Victor.
On lap 14 now of 22. It's a very wet Belgium right now. The Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Rain is coming down. This is round 13 of the American Tier 2 Championship. Right now, our championship leader, Major Castleman, is down in 10th place. His closest competitor, Mr. Bean, I think, is out of this race. So it's more about who's going to win the race today. Rao could get a lot of points. Rao could maybe start a comeback on Castleman today. If, like you said, the string of bad luck starts. Championship could definitely still be up for grabs.
Yeah, this isn't the performance Major wanted to have at all, and Rao really, with 100 points right now, 25 would be really good for him in not only catching up to Major Castleman, but overtaking that second slot in this championship as well.
Yeah, we'll see if Major Castleman can get any more positions, or he'll be stuck P10, where he'll only get 1 point.
Well, one thing that he does have going for him is that penalty that he doesn't have in comparison to Duncan. He's within that 1 second range. He could very well get himself a couple of points, and every point will matter if a driver like Rao is able to push himself into contention for that leadership.
Yeah, this is not the race that Castleman wanted. Both Mercedes cars struggling this race.
Not just this race, but qualifying as well. They weren't necessarily where they wanted to be. I mean, when you think about it, Major Castleman did start this race in 10th. He's held station there, all things said and considered, for this one. We're 15 laps in.
And we're also going to have a very thrilling race tomorrow in America's Tier 1. And I think that we've had a lot of good competition joining the grid. It's going to be a very exciting race tomorrow. With Becky unfortunately being busy with school, we've got some new drivers in that will hopefully bring us a big fight tomorrow around Spa Francorchamps.
Castleman not going to really rely on penalties here. He's going to work to try and get Duncan on track for 9th. And we've got Victor looking for 7th and NYK looking for 5th. Those are the 3 battles formed on the grid right now for circuit position.
Absolutely. We'll see if any of them can get close enough to make a move. Also, tomorrow we'll be back at 4 o'clock Eastern, 10 p.m. Central Europe time for Tier 1 action, which is the best tier. We have a bunch of... anybody can win a race in that tier, pretty much. And qualifying is always super close and exciting.
Diaz
If anybody
has joined the party here with Paula and NYK, as well as Jay Forsai, a little bit of a train on the rear of the Ferrari. And this is really good for Victor. No penalties. He's able to navigate through the traffic, get himself a couple of extra positions.
That's not as good as how he wanted it to go. He started this race from P1.
Yeah. Here goes Major Castleman looking for a position on the AlphaTauri now around the outside. Looking back through the inside for Castleman, and he is still wheel-to-wheel with Duncan. There's a big snap. Duncan off into the wall. Not sure if there was contact or if Duncan caught the curb, but he certainly caught the wall, and that will be a big drop to Castleman now. 5.5 seconds on the rear of the Mercedes.
Did he get wing damage?
Not visible.
Victor, now we have a bit of a train forming. NYK, Paula, and Victor all within 1 second of each other. Just behind Jay Forsai. Paula thinking about the move.
Jay holding out that half second ahead of NYK right now. Of course, NYK and Paula holding on to those 3-second time penalties. It's actually 6 for Paula, excuse me.
Paula's very close to the 2 cars ahead. Might be a move coming up the hill. This track is definitely the most roller coaster like of all the F1 circuits. You go up a massive hill, and then you go downhill, down twisted turns through the forest. We can agree to disagree, Maxime. Oh, Duncan going for full wets.
I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah, it definitely looks inters are in right now.
I think that is a incredibly poor choice. Rao in a commanding lead, 4.5 seconds ahead of Beamer. Beamer holding on to 3 seconds right now. Henner's dancing in and around that margin. Could very well pick up a P2 here if he keeps his nose clean.
It could go full wets. Like, it was set to heavy rain at the end. But I don't know if it's ready yet. The rain could come for quickly. And it could go full wets. He's not losing that much time.
You wait. You know, if it's early and he gets the switch right, and you know, let's say we're at that bridge point,
Changeover period.
the crossover, but I just don't think we're there yet. Nothing has indicated to me that we're there yet.
Well, Duncan is hoping that we get there
There
real
goes
soon.
Hughes. Look at this. Look at the grip on the intermediates right now. He just blows by Duncan.
Yeah,
He's
maybe it's a
gone.
bit too early.
He's gone.
Not much. And Duncan's regretting his life choices right now. He's sitting in the car wondering, how did I end up like this? We're on lap 18, still 5 laps to go. I think.
Yeah.
We had a few restarts. Now we're running a bit late, but now we're set for the final end of this race. NYK so close to Jay, your old rival from the tier strip.
It's true. I've had some amazing battles with Jay.
Very clean driver. Looks like there's definitely gonna be a move here from NYK.
It's hard to overtake in the rain, Gauzy. I know you don't do it much, but
Well, when I drive, there's no car ahead of me to overtake because they are the one overtaking me.
Duncan really gambled wrong there on the wet. Full wet.
And there's needs to stay in 3 seconds of Beamer to get that P2. These will be big points for Henders. Right now he's set for P3. He could just hold the gap for just a few more laps.
The thing is, the laps here are long and said than done. Speaking of laps, 44.927, the fastest lap of the campaign. This was set by Duncan Mechanic, and he will not be collecting that additional point as he is presently outside of the top 10.
Bit of a lull in the action, but this train is still going strong behind Jay Forsai.
Yeah, I agree with you. It hasn't really disengaged at all. Waiting for one of these drivers to blink, really make a mistake. And you can make a mistake at any point. We're on lap 20 out of 22.
like LAS1 did earlier in the race. And also Mr. Beam. Looks like Paula might go for it here.
Yeah, she's looking fast here. But it's not
That's
enough.
not enough. Yeah. We need like a wet weather DRS, I think.
Yeah, it's the same as the dry weather, dude.
Okay, so let's turn it on. It's a video game. Who cares about safety?
Oh my god.
No one's gonna get hurt if we turn the DRS on, Striff. Just saying. Yeah, they'll have to go to the virtual emergency room. The penalty situation is Beamer has 3 seconds. I think NYK and Paula also have 3 seconds. The rest are not in the top 10. Paula has 6 seconds. NYK, no, he's still not close enough. Never mind. Thought there was going to be a move.
Very hard to overtake in the rain. Big snap there for NYK. That's going to bring him farther away from Jay, and it's going to bring Paula closer. Victor working to get in there too. Duncan picks up 3 seconds.
Surely there's going to be a move at the end now. That was a...
NYK, a big snap. That's a mistake. Victor Diaz and Paula move up a place. NYK
and all the
holds
Victor,
on.
All the Victor fans in the chat are celebrating right now.
I don't know how he held on to half a second there.
Yeah, he got lucky. And they're still in the 3-second gap. Oh, it looks like Duncan has spun.
Big issue there, yeah, in sector 3. Paula. Ooh, look at this. Victor Diaz finding a way through. There's slight contact.
Big contact. Victor almost went into the wall. He has to be careful. He can't. It's very
between this pair, and they're losing time to Jay.
That move probably would have worked in the dry, but in the wet, the car doesn't want to brake correctly.
We're on the penultimate lap of this race. Rao 3 8/10 ahead of Beamer here, about to cross himself into the lead of this race. And the final lap.
Yeah, Hender's still within the penalty window he needs to get through P2. Looks like as it stands, it's going to be Rao, followed by Henders, followed by Beamer, but anything can happen on the final lap. It's a long lap.
Exactly.
Will Paula go for it? Too far back.
Yeah, there's just nothing that she is able to do right now.
Oh, big wiggle, and it's going to open the door for Victor. He's going to go for it on the final lap of this race. Oh no, he got blocked off. Jay struggling ahead. Nothing Victor can do. He's going to have to stay behind. He's going to try though. Victor pull on.
Very intense race with the weather dynamic.
Oh, look at this. Victor just not able to get it done because of the way Paul's car is positioned.
That and
Even
it's
though he had the speed.
very heavy wet conditions in some areas here.
Yeah, you can't go offline to go and try to get the move. And Rao
Rao
has won.
takes the win. Beamer will cross second, but it's Henners that'll pick it up after Beamer's penalty. Cattle King in fourth. Jay Forsai now with the train behind him. Jay Forsai in the Ferrari is going to take fifth position here to wrap things up in Spa. Victor Diaz sixth. NYK will drop to eighth. Major Castleman in seventh. Paula will finish ninth. LAS1 coming to the line now in the Alpine, slated to finish 10th.
While Florian just missing out on points, it looks like. Disappointing finish for the Aston Martin driver. As well for Hewis and Duncan. LAS1 securing the last points position. And
Great
apparently the
race.
cars they still have gas to go full speed, apparently. They could have done a few more laps. But yeah, great race. A great win from Rao. And from Headers, we won't have time to do interviews tonight. To sorry to everyone in the chat.
Yeah, we're way further along.
We're in overtime now.
Take a look. We'll get the final classification, of course. As soon as Duncan brings himself across the finish line here in Belgium. Beamer NG with driver of the day. Game awarded for the most positions made up.
But I think it's not just game. We can award that too. He was really good. But Rao also with a commanding win in Henners.
Beamer went from 16th to 3rd. Rear of the grid. You love to see it, but it was Rao. Started 5th. Takes the win for Red Bull here ahead of Henners, who started in 2nd and finishes in 2nd. And once again, Beamer rounding out the top 3 here. We had Cattle King in 4th. Jay for Cyan 5th from 13th. Solid drive from Jay. In the partnering Ferrari, Victor Diaz drops to 6th. Major Castleman started in 10th, moves up 3 slots. NYK holds station in 8th. Paula as well in 9th. And LAS1 drops back to 10th from 7th to wrap up the points finishers. Duncan had a 44.9 fastest lap of the race, but it will not be scored as he finished outside of the top 10. And he was the only driver in the race to try the full wet compound tires. That going to wrap up the coverage. Yeah, it was a great race. It really was. And I enjoyed it. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. And tomorrow we're going to have a bit more of some fantastic racing around Spa with the Tier 1 Americas division. Same time, same place with Ghazi and I. And you can catch the Tier 1 race tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern as well. With that, we're going to wrap things up and wish you well. See you guys all in.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.